Continuing our very brief discussion of biodynamic agriculture, recall that it was founded through a series of lectures presented by Rudolf Steiner in 1924, and that much of the content of those lectures was founded on the philosophy of anthroposophy. Now, it's notable that the conference in which these lectures occurred was initiated as a response to observations from farmers that as a result of the introduction of chemical fertilizers, the soils on their farms were becoming depleted. And so biodynamic agriculture represents the first ecological farming system developed as an alternative to chemical agriculture. And the foundation of this system was a grassroots movement. The intention of the biodynamic agriculture movement was to restore, maintain, and enhance the ecological harmony of those farm operations. And many of the practices we'll discuss a little bit further are things that we would observe in organic farms, in regenerative agriculture, and even in conventional farms in the modern era. So some of the practices that are included in biodynamic agriculture include the diversification of crops within the farm, the application of cover cropping, extensive use of composting, and we'll discuss that just a little bit further. Generally, the avoidance of any application of chemical soil treatments. And the target in biodynamic agriculture is to avoid as much as possible any off-farm inputs to the farm. Some other components of biodynamic agriculture include the decentralization of production and the distribution of food. One very important element in biodynamic agriculture is that there is a requirement for the maintenance of conservation areas on the farm. But in addition to that, there is an incorporation of some pseudoscientific ideas or some practices that don't have a very clear scientific foundation, such as the consideration of celestial influences on biological organisms. So, as an example of biodynamic practices, one of the very important elements is that there are a number of preparations that are included as soil treatments and compost treatments in the application of biodynamic agriculture. Just mentioning a couple of these, and you see that here as BD 500, or what we can call horn manure. And this preparation is cow manure that is fermented in a cow horn, buried in the soil for 6 months. And this BD 500 is used as a soil spray application with the intention of stimulating root growth and the formation of humus. Another example would be BD 502 or yarrow preparation. And in this preparation, yarrow is packed inside of the bladder of a red deer, dried in the sun, and then buried and added into compost. And so there are several others of these preparations. And at first blush and initially, it may be somewhat questionable, how these are intended to function or how these particular practices may have positive impacts. And another element of that is that the preparations that are used in these practices in biodynamic agriculture are used in what we would refer to as homeopathic quantities. And so this would be comparable to some of the homeopathic products that you might find, unfortunately, in pharmacies, where the concentration of the actual component of the homeopathic treatment is extraordinarily low. So you might see the number of dilutions, where a small amount is added into water and then diluted a number of times, maybe 20 times or 30 times or even more. And at that level of dilution, there is essentially almost no component of the original addition to the solution left. That being said, one of the students of Dr. Steiner, who's Dr. Einfried Pfeiffer, does produce BD compost starter that is widely used by biodynamic farmers, which contains all of these biodynamic preparations as a use to kind of streamline the process of going through these preparations. And has been shown to be very effective in producing compost. Though it is notable that in addition to the biodynamic preparations that are included in that starter, there are a number of other microorganism cultures that are included. One thing that is really significant when we talk about biodynamic agriculture is the Demeter organization. And that represents the oldest certification program for ecologically labeled food, essentially the first ecological label for organically produced food. And that certification program was established in 1928, continues to exist today. There are Demeter certified farms right here in Nebraska. And much as you see in organic agriculture, there is a rapid growth in increased interest in this form of agriculture. So the last paper that I reviewed showed an increase in biodynamically certified farms worldwide of about 47% in the period up to about 15 years up to 2018. So there is a rapid increase, still an active organization. So, but we won't consider extensively biodynamic agriculture as we continue on through the semester, to really to focus our attention more broadly within organic agriculture and regenerative agriculture.